Well, now everybody, listen, I am your host, Lambo Drew, and you are now tuned into another edition of The Leverage Show, man. Thank y'all for rocking with your boy. I told y'all definitely didn't want to miss this week. We had two very special guests coming on the show and everything, man. As you see, Tuesday night, man, we had my guy Q Walker, Celebrity Chef, man, popped on there. Celebrity Chef, man, to a lot of the stars and a lot of the people you guys see out there, man. Came on, rocked the show, did his thing. Thank y'all for all the support, all the love, man, on that broadcast. Truly went on ahead and blessed a lot of people. But tonight, this is probably like the most anticipated one, probably even outside of Rondy Lameth coming on the Leverage Show, man. We got in the building, my guy Blockchain Brown in the building. So y'all definitely want to be going on ahead, man, and sharing this link. Getting this out there, man, to each and every person you possibly can. I don't care and everything, man, if it's your neighbor, if it's your boss, if it's your coworker, if it's your sisters, your brothers, anybody else you can possibly do. Let's get this out here tonight and share this link so we can make sure that we show the support and show the love to our guy, to a legend out here, Blockchain Brown. So definitely thank you guys for another Thursday night, which these Thursday nights have been cooking up now that the Leverage Show have went to 2 nights out of the week, Tuesday nights and Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. But tonight, out of special request, we started an hour later, man, with my guy Blockchain Brown in the building, man. Definitely, I got something with that Canadian time that they're doing and spending family time up there. So, you know what? We're going to always make sure that we roll a red carpet out and everything, man. But let's see who's in the building. Let's see if we can go ahead, man, and pop off tonight, man, so I can go ahead and bring my guests in. Man, LA Law, what it do? Happy Thursday, everyone. Hope it's well. Thank you, LA Law, for tapping in again each and every single week on the Leverage Show. What you do on this Leverage Show, you bless us more than what we know. So thank you, LA Law. Again, I already talked with Kadar Haney, so he said he's coming back for his title next week. So make sure that you be strapping up and ready to go. All right, LA Law? Shout out to you. Thank you for always tuning in and making sure that you show love. My guy Jamal Titus in the building, one of Mr. Blockchain Brown's awesome, man, mentees as well. This is going to be an awesome show with Lambo Drew and Blockchain Brown. This needs to be shared with everyone you know. These two men have had a profound effect on my life. Thank you, Mr. Jamal Titus. Yes, Blockchain Brown is in the building, man. It's probably got to be one of the best. If y'all don't go ahead and make this one of the best ones and sharing this and getting this out on YouTube, I might just quit the podcasting game. I'm telling y'all right now, I might just quit the podcasting game because what this guy is getting ready to bring to the table tonight and get ready to be shared amongst a lot of people, you guys are definitely going to want to tap into this one for sure, all right? Yes, Jamal Titus, thank you. Listen, you know how much love, you know how much respect, man, that we have been given to you and allowed you to be able to become that crypto expert that you have had by single-handedly being mentored by one of the best guys into this crypto game, Mr. Blockchain Brown. So thank you, Jamal Titus, for that. My wife is in the building. Hello, everyone. Thank you, baby. Thank you for all of your support. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for making sure that you stayed on my neck to go ahead and get this together and get this right. So definitely we could be out here helping change lives and helping go ahead and take people to the next level. So thank you for you going on ahead, man, and all the support that you do for me, love. Bank of Joel is in the house. Thank you, my guy. Man, I almost want to go ahead and hit the buzzer, man, sounding off tonight. Cannot wait for tonight's show. Thank you, my guy, BOJ in the building. Trying to tell you, man, if you guys are not like and subscribe to my guy BOJ's channel on YouTube, y'all are missing out. Definitely the voice to thousands out there on the YouTube world and showing people how to leverage in the crypto space. Huge. Shout out to BOJ in the building tonight. You know, BOJ, we talked so much about Blockchain Brown and exactly what Blockchain Brown has meant to the show and meant to people and it meant to our space around. So you definitely want to go ahead and tap in on that. Thank you, BOJ, man. BOJ, it was a great time to be able to be on your live the other day and catch your live the other morning, which definitely you blessed us more than what we could even expect, more than what we can even imagine, even on your show. And thank you for the shout out. You know, I had to go ahead and give the love right back for what you were doing and exactly the space that you're in that's helping change lives. It's truly a blessing. I'm telling you that right now. Keep doing what you're doing, BOJ. Definitely, you already know. Shout out to Crypto Empire also for the connection that we was able to go ahead and make, and some of the things that we're getting ready to do in the near future, and some of the interviews that you're getting ready to do. So I can't wait to get back on the BOJ show and show some love. We'll actually get invited to the BOJ show now at this point to be able to show some love and give some great wisdom and tips and tricks and whatever that we can possibly do. So shout out to you on that, BOJ. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Money is in the building. Thank you, Money. Thank you for showing love each and every single week for what you do on this broadcast. That's a lot of love for each and every single one of you guys out there. Again, make sure y'all have liked, shared this video, and got this video out there. Now, listen, without further ado, I'm getting ready to go ahead and before I bring my guests on, I just want to just talk about what Brandon has been, Blockchain Brown has been in our life. Over the last few years, everybody know that I have referred numerous of people to Blockchain Brown and exactly what he's been doing, the space that he has been in, the countless of lives that he has actually been able to change, the coaching that he has been doing, the one-on-one coaching. And not just that, man, I can go so much. I mean, even the wisdom that he actually possessed when it comes to the BIBLE. I mean, there's no other person, man, out there doing some of the great things and who's not afraid on his channel to be able to go ahead and talk about the gospel of Jesus Christ. Again, I love what he's doing. I love the space that he is in. I love the people that he has helped along his journey and allowing them to actually be able to touch generational wealth and see generational wealth. When people didn't know what crypto was and didn't know the space of crypto, Blockchain Brown was that man who, if you enrolled in his classes or you was able to get around him or seen some wonderful videos or something that he had, he literally educated you from front to back, in and out, top to bottom of what crypto could be and exactly how to move crypto. So before crypto became this new space where everybody is in, Blockchain Brown was the one leading that charge. And tonight we are honored as a guest to have him on our show, on the Leverage Show. Definitely, it's going to be a lot of great information. And I'm telling you, if you guys have watched the markets just within this past week or even this past month or these past few months, they have definitely changed. He definitely was one of those who talked about the changes were going to be coming, the things that we're going to be doing, and the moves that they were going to be making along this journey. So definitely, you want to hear from a pioneer who's been out here, has been a voice to thousands of people out here. And we welcome to the show tonight on the Leverage Show. Give him a warm welcome, Mr. Blockchain Brown in the building.
What's going on, man?
What's good, B? What's good? Talk to us, Blockchain.
Man, thank you so much for all the kind words. I just moved, as you know, just came. I got boxes surrounding me everywhere, so excuse my studio. But man, thank you so much for having me, man. I really appreciate that.
Dude, bro, you know what? It's an honor. You're probably like, I honor a lot of great people, but Blockchain, for what you have done, the path that you have led, the people that you have changed and encountered. Again, tonight and everything, I look at one of my students, Jamal Titus, on the broadcast, who has actually worked hand in hand and been with your courses. And he's like, hey, Blockchain is just moving so fast. Like, I don't even know, should I be a part of this class? And he's like, he was a newbie introduced into that. And I'm like, dude, you around my guy, B Brown, man. I promise you're going to be straight. I've been knowing B for years, man, and showing love and sending people to you left and right, man, to be able to get educated and knowledgeable in this crypto space. But, man, talk to us, B, man. Let's go. Let's hear the journey. What's good in B's life? What's new? I know you moved. Let's talk about that, man. Talk to us.
Yeah, man. So you want me to start like the crypto journey, or you tell me?
I want you to start the whole journey. How did you get to be Blockchain Brown, the infamous Blockchain Brown?
Yeah, definitely, man. So, man, to be honest with you, coming up, I realized there was a system, and in that system, I realized that people like me, it was a little bit more difficult to excel in that system because there's gatekeepers, right?
Yeah.
So no matter how hard I would work, no matter what value I would bring to the table, like there was always like something missing that wouldn't let me get to the other side.
Mm.
And so for me, I always looked for alternatives to the traditional 9 to 5, to the traditional system, to the traditional way that things were, I guess you could say appeared to be, right?
Mm.
And so one of my mentors is this guy named Mike Klingler. He actually hit me up one day. And people have been, this was around like 2000 and like late 2016, 2017. And he had hit me up and was like, hey, there's this thing called crypto. He's like, you should take a look at it. And I have been getting a lot of messages from people, not a lot, but I've been getting some messages from people like, hey, check out this thing, crypto, da da da. And at that time, Ethereum was like $20. It was like $20, $30. It was like super cheap. And I remember blowing off a lot of people. And then I remember talking to him and he was like, yo, he was like, just take a look at this. And I was like, all right, cool. Like I'll it's coming from you. Like I'll definitely take a look. So as soon as I watched the video that he sent me, just light bulbs went off in my head. And I was just like so amazed that there was this digital technology that was available that essentially it's like finding like gold or real estate like in the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to see that vision so clearly and then to really start to do my research and study, about the blockchain and about, this concept of a distributed ledger and, how it's going to actually affect, the way that humans interact. And so for me, I became really fascinated with this concept and the fact that it was permissionless and nobody could block me out. Right. So for the first time in my life, I could really see my potential because there was not a gatekeeper, right? There was nobody who could say, oh, well, you can't do this and you can't do that, or put politics in the way and things like that. We're dealing with the blockchain, right? We're dealing with, at that time, proof of work, where it's like, all on different, like there's no way to block it, right? It's like literally if you have talent, you go in and you make it happen. And so I really got excited about that vision. And then I started watching a bunch of YouTube videos. And then I ran across Mike Novogratz. And I remember I was watching him, I think it was like on MSNBC or something like that. And I remember the question came into my mind, like, okay, I get what's going on here, but like, what is my value to this space? Like, what could I bring to this so that I could get my piece of the pie? And so I remember thinking about, man, if I become really good at this and I learn about it and I risk my money and I look at the pitfalls and I just try to understand the market, I could like teach people about this, right? Because it would give them the same opportunity that it gave me, where there was no gatekeeper, right? And so from there, man, that just kind of basically propelled me into this business around like 2017, when like nobody was talking about crypto, like on social media, like at least in the circles that we run in, like nobody was talking about crypto, right? It was like everything else but crypto. And I just became like a loud voice in crypto. And then one of the first, this was back in the ICO days, right? So people didn't know what ICOs were. So I was on ICOs like in the very, very beginning. And I remember like seeing some people win really, really big with ICOs. And a friend of mine, he had recommended one to me, and it had a referral program. So I was like, all right, let me just get in that and see what's going on. So anyways, I ended up getting in that. And like all my like people on Facebook, they saw like an opportunity to make money. So they started buying this coin. It was actually Electronium.
Okay.
So yeah, so they all started buying Electronium, and then that thing just mooned. Like it just went crazy. And people were making all this money from like that one like pick. And so that kind of hit me. I was like, man, if I really do the research and I really understand this market, like I could actually time this. Right. And then that's when I started realizing that, there's a wholesale and a retail market, right? Where you can get in on the wholesale market, you can get into things before the retail customer gets in, and you're pretty much guaranteed to make money. And once I got that, it was game over. I was like, all right. So then, I just started doing a bunch of ICOs and just started basically buying into these companies before they went public. And then, the rest was kind of history from there.
Dude, history. You know how there's Mount Rushmore, right?
Right.
In the crypto space, right?
Right.
You have the founder,
Right.
and then you have some of the other big generals. Blockchain Brown, like you're like right there on that crypto Mount Rushmore. You understand?
I appreciate that.
Of really helping lead the charge and educate our culture and multi other cultures about crypto. So to hear that you jumped in it like this, like, yo, you jumped in it back in the day, like ICO. Oh my God, dude, I don't want to get started with that. You make me sound ancient now and old, man. You know?
Yeah.
So you gotta talk to the people. Like when you got into it and you seen it, you were just looking at it in the standpoint of being able to say, hey man, I can do some referrals, because everybody know B Brown gonna sell. If anybody know Blockchain Brown, he gonna sell. And I'm gonna tell you this right now, he gonna sell. If he can sell, salt to a slug, that's Blockchain Brown. You understand? So you got into on the aspect of not even interested in the crypto much, just the selling aspect.
So it's funny because I got into it for the crypto, but then the selling aspect motivated me because I still didn't fully understand what I was doing, but I understood it enough to see that this could be potential. So when I saw the selling aspect of it, I was like, oh, like I could refer people and get into this, and then they can get some coins. And then because with the referral code with Electroneum, they gave you they basically matched like whatever you whatever the person bought, they kind of like matched that, right? And so I remember I put in $3,000 into it, and I end up getting 1 million Electroneum tokens from like my referrals and everything. And yeah, man, that thing ended up going to I think 15 or 20 cents. And I made like a couple $100,000. And I was like, wow, I only put in like $3,000 in this and basically got free money. So that's when I was like, yo, this is real.
Dude, this at another level because, and this is the truth. This is the truth. B, I always thought that you got into it because you heard like Bitcoin and then you start looking at it at that point back then. I never knew you got in it from that side of it. Like what? Are you serious? That is just amazing. So for those who are out there, they may have the misconception like, B, you actually got into it. You heard of like Bitcoin years ago and heard about some people talking about it. Never knew that you got into it from this space of your life.
Yeah. I got into it like around 2017.
Wow. I know it's been some years now. That for sure I do. I know for a fact.
Yeah.
So talk to us about it. I mean, what allowed you at that point, once you got into the business, to start studying the coins and start studying, like so much of this stuff,
Well, yeah. So after the Electroneum thing, a lot of these like companies started popping up with like these referral programs and all this kind of stuff, right? And so basically I started getting involved with that stuff, and then I like lost all my money. Like I lost everything. And I remember sitting at the table because I had stopped everything else, and I had lost all my money because this company like ran away with all my money. And I remember sitting at the table being like, it was like I had to make a decision, right? And I remember saying to myself, either I could just forget all about this, go back to, because I'm gonna figure out a way how to get to the money. So I knew I could get back, right? But I was like, I could forget all about this and then basically just let this industry go, or I could look at it as like a multiple 6-figure education. That was literally the conversation I had with myself. And I remember sitting there thinking about that. And I was like, all right, you know what? The next happening, I'm going to be ready. Like I literally trained for like 2.5, 3 years or however long the happening was. The next one, which is the one that just passed. I just trained for it. And I went in with the mentality that, okay, I'm going to learn everything about this game so that I never get scammed again. Right.
Wow.
And I'm gonna study everything. I'm gonna write out research. And not only that, but I'm gonna look outside of the game and start to understand like it from like an economic standpoint, right? And and from a business standpoint, and like what are we really doing here? And like how come like when the dollar's down, crypto goes up, or how come when this, I'm like, so that was kind of my mentality, man. I just studied, and I was like, I want to become the most educated person in this space. And so, yeah, man, that's what I did. And then when this bull run came around, it paid off. It really paid off. Right. So, yeah, that was
bro, that's at a whole different level. Like dude, let me go back, man. Cause I gotta say this right now. When you're talking about when the bull run paid off, people don't even understand what that is. First of all, you got to educate for the couple of people who do. I know there's a lot of other people, and I'm seeing them coming through the chats now that, they understand that. But for the people who don't, what is a bull run?
Yeah. So as I begin to study the market, right, I stopped looking at crypto as like this like coin thing, right? This and really as this technology. And I started to realize that there was a market cycle. Okay. And just like real estate, just like the stock market, just like any other cycle, there was a predictable way to know when to load up on coins and when to like release them. Right. That was one of the major things I picked up.
Right.
And so what I realized is that every few years there's something called the halvening. And basically what the halvening is where essentially the mining blocks are cut and basically the supply is reduced on Bitcoin.
Okay.
Right? Okay. And so what happens is when the halvening happens and the mining blocks are cut, what that does is it triggers the entire market to go bullish.
Okay.
Okay. This is like historically it's happened every 3 to 4 years. Like there's a date. There's literally a date. You can Google the halvening date. It'll tell you when the next one's coming up. And that's when you know the next bull market's going to take off, right? So I already knew that this last bull market, I already knew when it was coming. I was already loading up on coins. I was already buying things and stuff like that. And so through my research and through my studies after I learned the market, then I learned how to pick winners, right? Like how to find coins, how to find companies that I could put a little bit of money into, make a lot of money. So I knew when to buy and sell, right? Because I could essentially, it was like having a crystal ball. It was like a mathematical equation. It was like, okay, if it's got this, and this, then it's going to take off. Right.
Yeah.
And so I remember, I had I lost everything, got back. And at that point, I had a little bit of cash. So I was like sitting in my house one day and I remember I went to my wife and I was like, man, I'm going to put in like $100,000.
Okay.
I was like, I'm gonna put like $100,000. He's like, all right, cool. Like, if that's what you want to do, whatever. So then we put in $100,000, and I was like, all right, it's happening time. Things are about to start taking off, and so I start proactively looking for opportunities. Right, not on social media though, because I used to always post. By the time it hit social media, it's already too late. Right, so I started looking in Telegram groups. I started making connections and the different Discord groups, Telegram groups, and then I started studying the trades, right? Just like how a stock market person would study the industry, I started studying crypto like that. So like I would study all of the top news sites every single morning, and I would be looking for opportunities that I could get into. And so the first one I made $1 million on was this one called SXP.
Okay.
So I woke up that morning and I saw Binance buys card company connected to Visa. Man, as soon as I saw that, I literally ran over there and I started buying up the coins. No kidding. Probably like 2 days later, it went from 6. So mind you, I had put in, how much I put in on that one? I think I put in maybe like $50,000, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I put like $50,000 on that. It went from 65 cents to $5. And I literally remember sitting on my phone watching it just 100,000, 100,000, 100,000, 100,000, 100,000, 100,000, 100. I actually recorded it, and I was like, I can't believe what I'm watching. I was like, I can't believe this. Like, I can't believe this is what's going on right now. And so, and also had told a bunch of people about it. Like, I had like a little coaching course, like people, and I would like told them, I was like, yo, this is what I'm, this is it right here. They got in, people started like, I got, man, like people life-changing money, like literally life-changing money. Like, there's still out of jobs right now from that one play. So yeah, man. So I got into that. And then basically, that just became my thing. I was like, okay, I know how to find these coins before they pop off. I know exactly what to look for. I know what to do, how to do it. And then, yeah, man, they just, a bunch of them. Like, I mean, bro, I got into Phantom at like, I put like 100,000 in Phantom at 3 cents. Man, that thing went up to $6. Right. So, and I bought like 2.5 million tokens. Right. So it's yeah, man, that's kind of how I basically, that's what I started doing. And then what I realized was like, okay, so this is going on, but the market's so volatile, right? So it's like when the getting's good, right? When the getting's good. When it's bad, you need to know when to get out. You need to know, all this like hodl and all that. No. Like, you're gonna get like, because what I realized, and people don't like to hear this, but I'm just keeping it 100 with people, right? When you study the actual game, you realize that somebody's got to be liquidity.
Right.
So once you catch on to that, you're like, wait a minute, why am I hodling this if somebody's got to be liquidity? Right. And so when I realized that, that taught me how to when to buy in, when to sell. Okay. And so then from there, I remember like, you know what, the market was kind of tanking again and stuff like that. And so I kind of pulled back a little bit and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to chill. Right. And then that's when NFTs popped off. Right. And I saw that trend coming from a mile away.
Yeah.
Like I saw these, right. And mind you, we had crazy wins with the coins, like crazy wins, like life-changing wins. Like there's people in my mastermind who put in 20 grand, they made like $3 million.
Yeah.
A lot of people, right? So it was like crazy wins. They were making testimonials. Like it was wild. And so then the coins, they kind of started, tapering off a little bit. And then again, I had another one of these thoughts. I was like, man, crypto is more of an investment vehicle than like a way to like cash flow and make money.
Yeah.
And I'm like, investments go up and down. There's market cycles, things like that. So I'm like, this isn't sustainable if I'm going to use it as a cash flow. Like if I'm going to try to make money and then do that's not sustainable. But if I'm going to play the long game, that's more sustainable. Right.
Yeah.
So basically, I remember being like, I'm just going to chill. And then I saw this thing about NFTs. And then I saw this guy, he was a really successful internet marketer. And he's like, yo, I'm not doing internet marketing no more. I'm just focusing on NFTs.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are NFTs? Like, what is that? Right. So then I went back in my research bag, started doing it, non-fungible tokens, started understanding like how everything was going to be an NFT, and was like, whoa, this is wild. Right. Like, I was like, this is a sustainable way to make money. What I thought at the time. Right. I was like, this is a sustainable way to make money. So I remember I get on the head of that curve and I started buying up NFTs, bro. And it just got crazy, bro. It got really crazy. And as the more I started to like become an investor, people started knowing me in the space, like, oh yeah, like, blockchain brown, blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. So I did really good, really, really good with that. Like I could have just walked away from everything, moved to Portugal, just like I was good. Actually, that's what I did. Yeah. I was like, all right, cool. Like I got my, whatever, boom, 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 go to Portugal, right? So I'm in Portugal, and people in my mastermind know I've been talking about Portugal since the last bull run.
Yeah.
Like, yo, Portugal, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, finally, we did it. Okay. So I get to Portugal, living in a beautiful villa, private pool, like just living the life, bro. The life that we always dream of. Like, listen, I come from the bottom, Like I graduated with a 1.0 GPA. I was in special education classes growing up. Like I don't have a college degree. I like literally I've been evicted like 30 times out of my apartment. Like it's bro, like I literally come from the bottom, right? So when I'm here and I'm like financially free, I'm like I can breathe. It's like everything's good. I got to a space where I was like not kind of bored, but I was just like, man, like I want to do something. So that's when the NFT play came. And I was like, you know what? Because I had bought this one digital real estate NFT for 15 grand. And then like maybe like a couple weeks later, bro, it turned into like $200,000. Yeah. And I was like, man, there's something here to like digital. I was like, there's something here to like digital real estate.
Right.
I was like, most people aren't talking about this in the NFT space, but there's something here. So yeah, man, I get to Portugal and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a little bit of cash and I'm gonna start my own NFT.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I knew nothing about that. Right. And so basically I was like, you know what? I remember this digital. I remember I bought this like mansion. I was really excited about it. And I've seen how much it made. I was like, I'm gonna become a real estate developer in the NFT space, right? In the crypto world. So yeah, man, I went overseas to the Philippines and I hired some real architects to go into the metaverse and start building real, like pretty much like houses that look real, right? And my theory was, okay, most people in real life could never afford this type of house, but in the metaverse, they have an opportunity to become like a digital, like a digital landlord, basically own it out. So I came up with all these ideas about how you could buy this digital metaverse land, build on it, rent it out, turn it into like an Airbnb, and get money, from it, from like your investment.
Right.
And so we built 250 homes, and I ended up bringing on a partner, and like he had actually contacted me because he wanted to buy one of the homes, and we got to talking, and I was like, yo, he was part of the Board ABI club. I was like, okay, like he probably knows a lot of people. So I was like, yo, why don't you just partner? I'll give you a small percentage of the company and we can just whatever. So yeah, I ended up partnering with him. And mind you, we had no Discord, no nothing. I just had like this little Twitter page, probably like 100 people on there, whatever. So he comes in and basically what we did was we built these amazing properties. Like everybody in the game was talking about this, right? It was like grassroots, just from the bottom, right? So I have this theory. I was like, well, I'm not gonna just open up the Discord. I'm gonna build up hype around like this by showing people the pictures.
Right.
So probably for like a month, I was just posting pictures to the point where people were hitting me up like, yo, bro, when are you gonna open up the Discord? And finally, I was like, all right, people are ready. We're gonna open up this Discord. My dude, within a week, we had 20,000 people in the Discord. 1 week, 20,000. All the crypto influencers started hitting me up behind the scenes like, yo, can I get a whitelist spot? I'll do a video. I'll do this. I'll do that. Blah, 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 blah. Right. And I was already at this point kind of like a well-known investor in NFT worlds because I was like on that super early.
Right.
That's a whole nother bag. Like that. But yeah, so I was already kind of knowing that community, but not as like a founder. Right.
Okay.
So yeah, so we opened up this Discord within 1 week, 20,000 people join, and we're just like blown away. Like my dude, my partner, I had just met him like the week prior, and I was telling him these visions, and he was kind of like, well, I don't know, like, I'm like, no, bro, trust me, like I know how this is gonna plan out. He's like, all right. So we end up opening up the Discord, 20,000 people, and then we had to get our legal stuff, all that stuff for the actual company, so it's legit and stuff like that going. Yeah. So once we got that going, we're like, all right, we're going to do a sale. And we originally were going to do the sale for 100 homes. But then I was like, no. Let's do a sale for 250 metaverse homes. Because I had bought all this. I had like all this digital land already. So I was like, yeah, we just take one of my properties, build the houses on there, blah, 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 boom, boom, boom. So we end up doing that, right? Mm-hmm. So we create the whitelist. The whitelist is just going. And we told people that it was going to cost About $15,000 per home.
Wow.
Yeah, $15,000 per home. And so I came up with this idea. I was like, well, you know what? Why don't we create an access pass? Because everybody's not going to have 15K.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is we'll sell these access passes as like a ticket to be able to purchase a home, but we'll sell 3,000 of those for half of an Ethereum. And at the time, Ethereum was like 2,000, 2,500 bucks, something like that, maybe 3,000, something like that. So I was like, we're gonna have two sales. We're gonna sell these first NFTs as like a way for people to like be able to put like a down payment on their property.
Right.
And two, we'll raffle off the other 250 for 15,000, so that like you have to like basically own one of these passes in order to get access to buy one of these. And that create a lot of demand because people are like, well, I don't know if I'm gonna get it. You know, there's only 250, blah, blah, blah. And so people are rushing. So the sell time comes, right? We wake up, and again, we had to we had to learn all this on the spot. Programmers, how to create smart contracts, how to do all this stuff, right? How to connect it to the properties, like all this kind of stuff. So, anyways, we end up learning how to do it. Day comes. I remember I'm sitting in my room. So what we had did, my wife's best friend from high school, I was like, yo, bro, quit your job. I'll fly your whole family out. You guys come stay with us for a year. Like I'll pay for everything. So they ended up coming, and me and him, we were in the room, the kids, the wife, everybody was out front. And I was like, all right, that day's coming. What are we gonna do? Right? Bro, the day comes, and within so we make the cart live within the first like 5 minutes. This is for the 3,000, right?
Yeah.
The first 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes. Within the first couple of seconds, like 100 sold, right? But then we start getting messages from people like, yo, the contract is faulty, right? Like the actual contract was messed up, and there was a loophole, and there was a way to like, just basically do things that people weren't supposed to be doing.
Okay.
Right. So we have to shut the sell off. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So we're like panicking behind the scenes, rushing around, trying to figure out everything. We end up paying this guy like $100,000, like one of the best programmers in the world. He comes in, he rewrites the contract. He basically does all the stuff that people said couldn't be done. He rewrites everything, patches it up. Right. So we're like, all right, cool. We go back to the community. We're like, hey, we're sorry, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. The community's forgiving. We relaunch the sell. Within 3 hours, we pull in about, I think it was like $3.5 million. 3 hours.
Hold on. Blockchain.
Yes.
You see the captain came off, man. In 3 hours.
In 3 hours.
You pulled off how much again?
It's like 3.5 million. And that wasn't even for the digital real estate. That was for the pass. Right? That was the first sale. Okay. So the first sale comes, everybody's lit. They're like, yo, I'm one of the 3,000. We actually, I came up with this idea. I gave them a little plot of land. We called it an islet.
Yeah.
Gave them a little plot of land with the 3,000 and all these perks. Cause I learned how to create offers. Right.
Yeah.
So I gave them all these things. Boom, lit. Right. So then that goes through. Then the next week was the big sale. It was the 15K sale. And most people are like, yo, you can sell an NFT for 15 grand. Like, who's going to buy that? But I already knew because I had bought one. So next one comes out. We're like nervous because we don't want the contract to break. Because with that type of 15 grand, like that first one was like a couple thousand. 15 grand, you can't play with. Like if people feel like their money's, they're like, yeah, no, I'm not doing this, right? So we like, fingers crossed, contract goes live. Boom, sells out, and I believe like maybe like 7 hours. $5.5 million. And I'm like thinking in my head, like, yo,
time. B. I didn't hit the timeout button on you, man. In the middle of the live, I didn't hit the timeout button. 3.5 the first time. 5.5 the second time. Not days, not weeks, not months, not years, hours. I was blown away, bro. I had that same expression. I'm like, I cannot believe. And then
This is how God works. This is how God works everything out for the greater good. We made 2 extra million because what happened was when the first contract broke, people were started to sell on the secondary market that couldn't get them. So other people started buying those. So we did another 2 million in volume on the secondary market. Right? So we ended up doing like an 8-figure month. This is factual. Like you can Google this right now. We're in Entrepreneur Magazine. We're on Yahoo. We're on MSNBC. Like all the publications start hitting us up.
Stop playing. Listen, you just said 8 figures. People trying to figure out how they're going to pay their next light bill next week. Let's keep it real on the broadcast. Yeah. You talking about, that's what I'm saying. I told y'all this is going to be one of the hottest ones that y'all done seen on the Lambo Drew Leverage Show. I promise you that. Dude, 8 figures.
8 figures.
And if you combine the total between, this is just for the month, right? The entire month or what? What was that?
Yeah. No, this was for a couple of, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Dude, 8 figures in 2 weeks?
8 figures in 2 weeks.
B, we could just end the broadcast now. Ain't even got to talk no more, B. Blockchain, come on, man. Mm-hmm. Come on, man. Again.
And I always like to tell people, because we see a lot of internet marketers, they're like, yeah, my business done 8 figures. No, there's a difference between your business doing 8 figures and doing 8 figures cash. Like your money.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So it was crazy, man.
B, hold on, man. Time out. You got to talk to us. Bring us all the way back. What was it that drove people to say, man, I know the comments are going crazy right now. I didn't mess it all up and stuff like that. We at least got to hit. We at least got to hit a one of them or whatever. Where we at? I don't even know where we at right here. Shout out to my guy Kennard Haney, one of your students. What's up, Lambo Drew, and the best crypto teacher ever, the Blockchain Brown, man.
Appreciate that.
You know, shout out to you, man. Agreed, Jamal, the biggest 2 influence of my life. Thank you, man. Family in the building, man. Thank you, Tracy Hugie. Listen, Jamal Titus said, I have witnessed Blockchain Brown share ICOs in the beginning of 2021 and turn little money into 100K plus with my own eyes. Blockchain Brown is speaking facts, man. You know what? Listen, Jamie Miner's in here, man. Another one of your students. Man, you got the whole crew coming on here. I call Blockchain Brown Coach. I learned more about how money works and the power of networks in a few years. I had the opportunity to be mentored by Blockchain Brown than I have in my life, man. Brother, that's beautiful, man.
I appreciate that.
Beautiful. Thank you, Jamie, man, for coming on here, man, talking that talk, man, because that's what's love. White sand and island and breathtaking. Talk about Portugal, man. Which it is beautiful and stuff like that. BOJ, man, shout out to you. That's crazy. Next level crypto plays. Yes, we talking about it, BOJ. Freddie B in the building. Thank you, Freddie B, man, for coming through. Tracy, you just say, man, I'm getting ready to throw my phone through the wall. I literally want to go ahead and take the whole computer, all of the stuff, the lights and everything, throw it out on the front porch, man, myself, bro. My guy, Malik Amir, man, he's in the building, man. Yeah. Hey, Blockchain Brown, my guy, you know, you worked hand in hand with Malik Amir. He's been also on the Leverage Show, showing some love and doing some things. He said, you hooked up with Lambo Drew. You know what time it is, man. We do nothing but hits around here, man. So thank you. Thank you, Malik Amir, man, for showing love, man, for what you guys have actually done together in the past, man.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Man, that's my guy, too, man. Yeah, man, BOJ, that's my expression right now, too, man. I'm trying to get all of these comments. An 8-figure month, yes. 8-figure month, this is no cap on here. This is real talk, what people are talking on here. I'm trying to tell y'all that right now. My boy Malik says, man, I can vouch for Blockchain Brown. Oh, I know you can. He's been side by side with you on some of these deals and stuff like that, that you were actually doing, man, for real. You know, BOJ says, he says, what is this? Why can't I get this one? There it goes. Man, that's the next play because I'm ready right now. I'm about to cuss. He wants to know what's that next play, man. Talk to him. What's next, Blockchain Brown? Kanoa Haney in the building, man. Talk to me. What's next? And actually, was this part of your next? Or are you still rolling and everything? Because that, man, Blockchain, you have so much stuff that you're doing right now, dude. It's in freaking insane, dude. Yeah. Talk to people. What's really going on? What's up your sleeve? What you got now? What you rolling into? Because you got some nice stuff rolling right now, man. Talk to us.
Yeah, man. I mean, crypto wise, so every year I get like more educated, right? Every single year, you get more educated. And the goal to becoming a good crypto investor is your education, right? It is. Yeah. It is how you see the market and just understanding the trends. And even from just a chart perspective, like a lot of people got wrecked recently in the market, right? But when I jumped out, everybody's like, why are you selling? Why are you getting out? I'm like, because I know what's getting ready to happen.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, so why are you pivoting? Why are you doing that? Because I know what's getting ready to happen. Like, I'm not about to get crushed out when I know the signs are everywhere, right? And so these little things, like learning how to like read the market and be patient. You know, this game is about being patient, right? Yeah. And most people have, like me, like when I started, I was impulse, right? And so I learned how to be patient. And so right now, I'm okay sitting in the wing waiting for the next trend. Yeah. Right. I don't see the next trend right now. I don't know what it is. Because, you know, one thing I learned about making money in crypto is like literally there's narratives. That's another way I used to make money, right? Whenever there's a narrative, like we was on the DeFi narrative way before everybody was on the DeFi narrative. But now look at DeFi, right? Going out of business, this, that, and third. We was on that. We were on like all these different crypto narratives, like the Visa cards, right? So what I do is if I had to give you any tips, and again, this is not financial advice, this is just how I look at the game, right? First thing I would do if I were you is study the halvening. Okay. The halvening is like the Kickstarter to like where the money's going, right? The other thing too, and again, I'm not telling you which coin or what this and none of that, but you have to get a perspective on the game, right? So this is how the game works. There are people who buy coins and people who sell coins. That's the basic way I could put it, right? Like that's kind of common sense, right? Yeah. So you realize somebody's got to be liquidity, right? So there's a time to load up and then there's a time to sell, right? And in fact, some of the greatest investor books, people literally say, sell fear and buy greed.
And buy greed, yep.
Right? So it's like, okay, that's what you do in crypto. So when like right now, everybody's panicking, everybody's not. If you have good fundamentals about projects, then you load up, right? While everybody's selling, right? You load up, right? So while everybody's selling, you load up, and then when they get greedy, you sell, right? And so what ends up happening is that you basically switch the pendulum because now you're on the investor side. And it's just like any market, right? Like if I go buy a piece of, like I bought a condo, like 2 years ago, bought it during a pre-sale, put 20 grand down, it was like 500,000, something like that. Just took ownership of it about 3 months ago, appraised it, $850,000. That's because I knew to buy the condo before it broke ground.
Yeah.
Right. Crypto works the same way. So what you do is you go find the trends, you go find what the narratives are going to be, they'll take shape. And then once you find those, you get involved with that. And then once people get greedy, you unload.
Right.
That's how the market works, right? And unfortunately, that's the truth, right? And so, yeah, and in terms of what I'm doing right now, I'm kind of chilling and just waiting, right? Now, Ethereum, Bitcoin, you know, those coins, like if you believe in the space long term, like I think those are always like the safest and the best buy because, man, I put people in Ethereum at $200.
Yeah,
straight up, no facts. Like this is all truth, right? $200, $300. I was giving them the vision of what Ethereum could be, right? Mm-hmm. But I also realized that Ethereum was being manipulated, right? And I could see that because it didn't make sense to me. I study coins. I'm like, how is it that Ethereum is a whole blockchain, a whole network, but it's only staying at $4,000?
Right.
That makes no sense. Like literally you have to use Ethereum GUI for transactions. So there's no way all these people could be using Ethereum and it'd be at $4,000.
Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense. And so I knew it was being manipulated because they're having security issues, right? Yeah. But I won't even get into all that. But it's just like learning the game, right? And learning how the institutions play, and learning how it ties into like the news and all these kind of, bro. Like if I told you guys, like you could, it's so predictable. It's so predictable, right? And so so right now I'm just kind of waiting for the next trend to pop off. And then once that, then I'll be.
Whoa. Well, that's like some cliffhanger type stuff, man, because you like blockchain was the mastermind. Let me even go back to this. Before people really knew, even with what was that? Staking was, or even, and mining and animal farm. What I call it animal farm. But you know what?
Farming,
farming and stuff like that, man. Before people knew what that was, people was like, what the heck is he talking about? Yo, he's buying apples with gorillas and apes and everything else. And people is like, blockchain, what are you talking about? Like you was talking foreign language. And then all of a sudden it took off. And then you look at these NFTs. A lot of these NFTs are shaped and modeled after, the farming that they actually had, which was like super crazy. So you got to let us know a sneak peek of what was in that mind. How did you catch the farming? Did you see something, man, in it? Did you have a dream or something like that? Like, yo, man, you're ready to go jump up into this.
I can't even be like, nah. It was, again, it came back to just this educational mentality, right? Just wanting to learn and wanting to get ahead of the trends. And so that guy who I told you I heard be like, like I'm quitting this other internet marketing. I'm doing NFTs full time. I'm like, well, if he's quitting, there must be something here. Right. So I start studying everything he's doing. And I remember he posted one of those apes, right? It's called a Genesis Con.
Okay.
And at that time, I mean, there were like 130 grand or something like that. And so I remember being like, yo, like, I'm gonna get one of those. I'm gonna get a couple of those actually. And I had got the babies first. And so he was explaining that they breed, right? So they breed these things called bananas. And bananas at that time were like, bro, I think they were like, what were they, like $10 or $20 each? So each banana was like $10 or $20 each. So basically, if you had two of these things, you could breed bananas and essentially make like $2,000 a day passively. Right.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, that's such a good concept. And then that's what kind of like really made me start looking into staking and farming and all these kind of things. Nobody knew what I was talking about, bro. Like nobody was talking about this. Everyone's like, yo, what's this guy talking about? But then once I explained it to people, they're like, oh, okay, I get it. And then that's when, man, I just started getting into a bunch of coins and a bunch of stuff where I could earn. Because remember, I got burned and I was like, I need a way to make cash flow. So staking and farming was the first thing I figured out that I was like, wait a minute, I can actually make money, passively just by holding NFTs. And that's essentially kind of how I got into it.
Dude, so you were holding, let's back this up. So you're holding NFTs now, but you also created your own lane with the NFTs space with one of the other things that you're doing right now. So you're creating, and shout out to my guy, man, Don LaPlume from Metaverse. Has been on the show and stuff like that as well. In this metaverse space, you guys started creating your own metaverse space out there, right?
Yeah. So that was the sell that I was telling you about with the properties. Yeah, that was like we bought the land, we learned about the technology. I hired like at one point I had like 50 people working for me. Yeah, from all around the world, all different type of programmers. And yeah, man, I was able to take my creative vision and literally whatever you could do in the real world in terms of real estate investing, you could do it on here, because the way that I explain the metaverse, most people don't understand the metaverse. They're like, this is just some game or some platform. Like, I don't really get this, right? And so I started doing a lot of news interviews, and the first thing they would ask me is, so what is the metaverse? And I was like, you know what? I never actually thought about how to articulate it. So then I sat down for like 2 hours and I just wrote out a bunch of different things, and I came up with a way to explain it. And so essentially, like, what a metaverse is, it's like a 3D virtual world that allows you to essentially foster connections, right? So the reason why they call it Web 3.0 is because if you look at social media, it's Web 2.0, right? It's a very much like, kind of, a place where you can kind of comment, connect, and things like this, right? But you can't really take an experience onto Web 2.0, right? Whereas a Web 3.0, you can literally have your own land, and then you can build a virtual experience, right? Kind of like what Meta's doing, right? Where you put the goggles on and you can go there from your home. You can go talk to people. You can go have a business meeting. You can go on roller coasters. You can play golf. You can play basketball, but you're actually in the world, right? And it feels like you're in the world, but you're sitting at home, right? And so when I realized that, people with passion and ideas who can't afford to do them in the real world, they could buy digital land and then they could do it there, right? And this could be for anything, right? Like, you could take your podcast, put it in the metaverse.
Yeah.
We could show up, put our goggles on, have a seat. And yeah, so once I realized that idea, I was like, yo, this is fascinating.
So you got to let me know this, man. The metaverse, man, for you, where do you see it going? Because, I watch Meta be able to take that big, huge hit. Like, we've seen a lot of stocks plummet. I mean, look at the FTX and Binance, that merger. We seen the guy and everything, man, lose almost $15 billion in 1 week.
Sam?
Yeah.
Dude.
So, I mean, with the unsureties of the market, do you still see the metaverse actually moving into like the next wave, the next level? Talk to us about that.
I'm not sure, man, to be honest. I mean, I want it to be, because I have a company that's active. I want it to be, but the use case needs to change. And I think it will change. Like, I have some ideas of what I think it's going to be, like what I think is going to happen. But at this point, it needs to be developed more, and it needs to find the right demographic and things like that, because, asking people to just stay at home and like that worked in COVID. See, I got a whole theory about that, but I'm not even going to get into that.
No. I want to hear that theory, because this is the mastermind of Brandon Brown's theory. Talk to us, Blockchain. What's your theory behind that?
So my theory was that when all this COVID stuff was going on, it was trying to teach us to like disconnect in real life and go into the metaverse. I mean, if you think about it, right? Like, Facebook wouldn't change their company name. They wouldn't do all that unless they knew there was going to be an opportunity for capital to capitalize on it. And I know that sounds like a conspiracy, but I just look at things. I'm like, wait a minute. They want a social distancing. They want us away from each other, blah, 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 blah. But the metaverse, you can be right next to somebody.
Right.
And so, yeah, I just think that didn't work out. And now it's kind of like, everything's up in the air. So I don't know, man. We got to see. I mean, where I think where I think NFTs are going to go, I think they're going to go to social experiences. I mean, like, if I own a certain NFT, like I own like Gary V's restaurant NFT, right? So I own a portion of that. So meaning that I have an NFT, I can literally go into his restaurant. Like, you have to have an NFT to get into the restaurant.
Right.
So I think that's where it's going to go, but who knows, man?
Dude. You didn't just curveball and threw everybody for a loop on here with that one right here, because there's a lot of people. We're investing into the metaverse. We're investing into these spaces. And you're saying that it's gonna take time and development for them to actually, let this play out.
Sure.
But you also see that there's a little conspiracy behind it. This is
because here's the thing. It's like, I ran the numbers, right? Our metaverse was trending at times as like more users than like Decentraland or like,
Yeah.
you know, these Sandbox, right? And I own a lot of land in Sandbox too, right?
Right.
But what I realized was that people weren't going into the metaverse.
Mm.
Like, you ever gone into the metaverse?
Between the Oculus glasses and everything, and yeah.
But like, I mean, like going there, like, are you like in, like, you know, people in there?
Yeah, I told you, Don LaPlume for Metaverse is on our show. My guy Malika Beer, you already know, man.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys are in this space. Shout out to Jamal Titus, Kennard Haney, you know.
But this is what I'm saying. If you want to reach out to, let's say, you know, Kennard.
Yeah.
You're not going into the metaverse to reach out to Kennard.
No, I'm gonna pick up the phone. I'm gonna send him a text.
You're gonna call him, right? So that's what I'm saying. Until we get to that place where it's like, all right, I'm gonna go meet my cousin. Because I go in the metaverse. Me personally, I go in the metaverse, like the Facebook Oculus, like all that. That's fun to me. Like I went to a Snoop Dogg concert in there.
Yeah.
I did yoga. Like I did a bunch of stuff in there, right? So I think for people like us, we get it. But like the mainstream, they gotta work. Like how are they gonna be? You know what I mean? Like when?
Yeah.
When are they gonna do it? That's my number one question. When are you going to be in the metaverse? If you got to work and you got kids and you got stuff going on, like you think you about to, like your kids just about to be in there and you in the other room on the metaverse, like, right? It's like I don't know, man. Like I'm not sure about that, right? I have 3 kids. I can't imagine I'm just in the metaverse and what are they doing? Right? Like, so you got to get a babysitter to go into the metaverse, right? I don't know. But like I said, I think once it gets developed, like let's say if there was glasses you could put on like this, and then you're in the metaverse, okay, that's different. Because then I can just flip out, boom, 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 flip back on. But you know, with the Oculus, bro, that's some work. Like, you gotta load that joint up. It's heavy. You gotta put the little circle around you. You bumping in this, like, you gotta rearrange your whole living room. Like, I don't know, bro.
B, you too real on here, man. You're wrecking people's shop, man.
No, I just don't know if people are gonna be doing all that. If we're honest.
Yeah.
If we're honest, I don't know, man. I don't know. So I hope we can get there, because I was planning on running masterminds in there and doing all this, but shoot, man, by the time I load that joint up, move all the stuff around, put the little circle, clicking on things with the little laser, like, bro, that take some time, man. You gotta have some time for the metaverse. So
blockchain, no, man. People want to hear, you know what, man? You that came on here and I love it because you're brutal honest, man.
Right? But I'm saying, honest. But this is what I'm saying. It could be that play though.
Yeah.
Like people didn't understand the internet in the beginning.
Yeah.
Right? The metaverse could be that. But we just don't get it yet.
So do you believe, this is a good question, man. Do you believe in everything, man? You know, that there will come a time where the phones and everything else that you have in front of you will be more conducive to where most of us, we're hooked and directed to our phones each and every single day, or a computer screen or something, that they will make something that's more beneficial for each and every single one of us.
They've already made it.
Talk to us. What are you talking about?
So I actually know a guy who runs a technology company, and basically what the technology company does is it builds a metaverse software to where you go into a room and the whole room turns into the metaverse.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. With no goggles.
Time out. This exists right now.
It exists right now. Yes.
So is that, First of all, is it affordable for families to be able to do that?
Oh, right now they're selling it to mostly like corporations, but eventually things, they come down in price and they become affordable. But yeah, that exists right now. So now that answers the question of us being able to have something accessible that and also becoming affordable that the whole family can participate on it. We don't need all of the glasses and everything else. No,
but that's going on right now.
That's going on right now.
So is it a possibility? Will they may expand that type of testing and that type of research so that we may have accessible
Yeah, I
to that
definitely
pretty
think
soon?
it definitely will come down to the consumers for sure. It
Okay.
has to. Yeah, it has to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it has to at that point and stuff like that, man. Now we don't have to go hire babysitters to go watch the concert at a Snoop Dogg concert, right?
There you go.
I'm just saying. Tracy, you just said, what are some of the best resources to study coins?
It's not about resources. It's about a process, right?
Okay.
So it's like you start out looking in the trades, and then from there you kind of look for companies that are emerging, and then there's like a formula that you go through, right? So it's like you look at the companies, you look at the people behind it, and also it's about timing too, right?
Mhm.
Like it's about the narrative. So like I'm not going to be in the DeFi narrative. I'm not looking at NFTs. In the NFT narrative, I'm not looking at DeFi, right?
Mhm.
So it depends on the narratives that are going on, right? But I was trying to think of what was that site that I used to use? It was like ICO Cap or something like that. There's this one site that I used to go to, and it would show you like basically what it would do. I have found this site, and what it would show you is all of the updates to the roadmap that were coming.
Okay.
So what we know about crypto is people buy the news. Wait, how's the saying go? Like you buy the news and sell the I don't know. I can't think of the saying right now, but the short story is I learned that whenever a company was going to add things to their roadmap, people's emotions would get excited and they would buy more coins. So there was a site that I would go to where it would have like a calendar of all of the updates that were getting ready to come to a specific NFT or a specific coin or a specific roadmap, and I would buy those NFTs or those coins because I knew that as it got closer to that date, people would FOMO in, and then basically I would just like sell right before it right before it took off.
Yeah. Wow. That's good. And Malik say is buy the rumor, sell the news.
Buy the rumor, sell the news. Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's exactly what I would do.
Y'all better load blockchain up with some questions on here, man. Don't be just up in here waiting to talk. I got a bunch of questions I can give to him, but y'all make sure y'all put y'all questions in the comment box because I know that y'all are waiting. Kennard Haney was laughing down about us waiting for the Oculus glasses and us going to and run it in there. So, hey, I know how that is. Tracy, you just said, could the metaverse be more of interest to the younger demographic, vice versa, more settled group?
See, that's the thing. We can't judge that because we thought that about social media.
Yeah.
See, this is what I'm saying. Like, we don't know yet until the use cases come. Now, if somebody was to say social media was for kids, we would be like, what? Yeah. But back in the day, I remember my mom telling me, yeah, I ain't on that social media. That's for them kids. I don't know how to log into all that Facebook stuff. And now my mom on Facebook more than me. Yeah. So it's like the metaverse, I think is the same thing's gonna happen, right? It's like, yeah, I ain't playing video games. Okay.
Yeah. Dude, you got to talk about, man, and this is a good question somebody had asked me, somebody who's overseas right now as we speak, and they said, you know, some of your projections, you know, talk about some of those projections of some of the coins actually you listed last year. You know, where do you see them at now?
I mean, honestly, man, I don't have a crystal ball. It's all about the market cycle. That's all you got to realize. Things go up. There's an algorithm. That's a whole nother that's a whole other bars that I can't even get into right now. Everything's an algorithm now, right? So if you understand the algorithm, you understand that, okay, well, at a certain point, things are going to go up, things are going to go down. You know, and you just got to know when they're going up and when they're going down. So it's hard for me to say, well, this is going to do this and that. The reason why I don't really take losses is because I'm investing into teams. Yeah. Not into hype, not into like, you know, stuff like that. I'm looking at the team. Like, is the team going to be around in 2 to 5 years? Right. So even in the downturn, they're still there, right? It's like us, you know, we're still around.
Yeah.
Right. We still got capital. We still got the team. We still building. Even a lot of people gone. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of what I look at.
I got 3 letters, man. CKG, man. What's up with that, man?
CKG. Oh, CKB.
CKB. That's what they put. They put G on here. I know it's CKB. Nervous.
No. Nervous. Yeah.
Yeah.
What they want to know about that?
They want to know, man, where they just put that. They just sent me that. Like, yo,
You know
CKB, talk to us.
It's funny because I got in CKB mad early and I got out mad early, right? So, but I think CKB, I was just talking to my boy about this the other day. They have a very good infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
They really do, right? So I think that could still pop. But
CKB,
yeah, CKB, yeah.
But the market itself right now is, yeah.
Market's sketchy, bro. It's sketchy, right? Like we don't know. And the thing about crypto is you can't study crypto. You got to study the players.
Yeah.
Right? Like CZ owning all that FTX token, like, bro, like that stuff, you can't chart that.
Yeah.
That's the thing about crypto, right? You can't chart stuff like that. So you just gotta kind of
gotta go ahead and kind of go from there. Tracy, you just say thank you for that answer and stuff like that. Thank you. You know, so what do you think about them hosting all of these NFT conferences now and all of these all of these things that they got going out now, man? Do you think that there's anything truth to that, man, that's getting ready to take us to another level, or people are still grouping together?
I think NFT technology is great. I just think that the space is a little, suspect. But the technology itself is great, and I think we will figure out a way to make it work. But just right now, I could give you the psychology, and you'd be like, "Yo, I never thought about it like that," right? And so,
but give us the psychology, man. Don't hold nothing back on the Leverage Show, man, because there are people who out here, blockchain, we trust your moves, we trust your judgment. And man, hey, we're open discussion. Go ahead, talk.
So obviously we built a really successful NFT company, and I'm a thinker, right? And so I started thinking about, okay, how do I make my investors happy? Right? And how do I win? And that's when I realized there's I think it's called a Kabushi Mora. I don't know for all my Star Trek fans. There's something called a Kabushi Mora, where Captain Kirk, when he was learning how to fly the starship, he would go through a simulation, but the simulation was designed for him not to win. Literally, you can't beat it. Right? And so I started thinking about that concept, and I was like, that's how NFTs work. Like, if you're a founder, that's how it works. Let me explain.
Talk to us. You got to explain.
Yeah. So let's say Lambo Drew comes in and he buys an NFT for 15 grand. Right? And let's say the price goes up to 30 grand. Right?
Right.
Are you happy?
Yeah. I mean, I just won.
You just won, right?
Right.
So now the person who bought it at 30 grand, what happens? What has to happen for him to be happy?
It's got to go up again.
So, and then what happens? Like, let's say it goes to 100 grand, right? Then what happens to that person that bought it for 100 grand? What got to happen with him?
It better go up again.
And so let's say it goes up to 200 grand. Then what happens to happen for that person?
It has to go up again from 200 grand.
So so when does it stop?
Whenever the value itself, gets taken out.
Right. So then eventually somebody's going to lose. And then what happens to the co-founder? What happens to the founders?
They're looked at like, man, they're the bad person. You understand? The finger pointing begins.
But they just made all these people money beforehand. Nobody ever talks about that on Twitter. So I realized that. I'm like, wait a minute. At some point, I become the bad guy. Right? You know the old saying on Batman. I watch a lot of movies.
Yeah.
There was a saying in Batman where the dude was like, you either die a hero or live long enough to watch yourself become the villain.
Yep.
That's That's what NFTs, if you're a founder, because at some point, somebody's got to lose. So if somebody spends $100,000 and that thing goes back down to 30, you're a scam now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So imagine when you got to wake up with that on your mind all the time now, like, I got to make this thing work because the guy at 100, but then you get anxiety because like, then when he buys it for $100,000, now you got to make it go to $130,000. And you don't have no control over any of that.
Yeah.
So then people get this expectation. Well, I expect you to make me money, but like, I'm not the gatekeeper.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't control the market.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is huge, man. Wow. Larry says, man, this is a good question. I heard that Elon bought Twitter to transform it to a financial platform and ultimately use it or create a version of a blockchain environment that are now. Does that sound familiar to you?
Bro, I got my theories on Elon too, bro. I'm just being
Hold on. Time out.
bro. I've been watching his moves, bro. I've been watching his moves.
Dude, talk, because that was I knew where he was getting at with the move of purchasing Twitter. I understood the move of downsizing Twitter company, 75%, right? I understood that of weeding out, all of the fake pages and all of the fake bots and all of that stuff, so that he can see the real actually users, so he can start making money and stuff like that. I understood that, but talk to me. Where do you see the disconnect in some of the moves, some of the strange things that Elon's been doing in between? Larry, this is a good question. Shout out to my guy, Larry the Lion, in the building.
So again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
I don't want to speak your mind. It's the leverage show. Let's go, man.
I can only tell you from the patterns that I've witnessed.
Okay.
I've been able to correlate Elon's timing with a lot of like events from COVID to a lot of things. Like I literally time the market. I see when he comes out. I see when he buys Bitcoin, when he pulls it back. Like he's always inserted at very like interesting times. And there, and again, I'm not trying to start conspiracies or nothing like that, but there's actually rumors that he's Satoshi Nakamoto. That's the word on the street.
Whoa.
Now,
whoa.
Yeah, that I'm not saying that's true. That's just what I've heard in passing. And because people are like, wait a minute, when did he sell PayPal? He was already in the financial services. He was already, like, people don't ever think about that, right? He was already in the payment services industry, and somehow he magically got into crypto. Like, what other CEOs do you know that are in crypto like this?
Not as big as him.
That's what I'm saying. Like, nobody, right? Like, he's the guy, right? And so I don't know. I just kind of feel like he conveniently does moves at certain times. And so the move with Twitter, that's not surprising to me, because like when you look at certain things, you're like, okay, like Jack Dorsey and Jay-Z, they're partners, blah, blah, blah. They did their little deal. Then all of a sudden Jack Dorsey sells Twitter. Then all of a sudden now Elon's got it. Like it's certain things that I start peeping and I'm like, something's a little shaky here, right? And the corporations, they've been tipped off on a lot of this stuff far beyond people, right? Like if you Google how many CEOs stepped down in 2019, a lot of CEOs stepped down, right? Because they kind of know what's going on, right? And so, but I noticed that Elon pops up at very interesting times. And so I know he's playing the good guy and all this kind of stuff, but I just don't know, like, 1 minute he's like, yo, like I'm not I'm accepting Bitcoin for Teslas and stuff like that. The next minute he's taking it back because he's saying it's not clean energy, but yet he's doing electric cars, bro. So it's like, what are you talking about right now, right? Yeah.
So yeah, but that's Elon being Elon. I think that there's a lot of manipulation that Elon has put out there like that, especially since he's on his way to become a trillionaire. You know, from what he says. Kennard Haney with the mind blowing. Tracy Hughes says, sounds like the Susu boards to me. Yeah.
If you look at the game, you start noticing things and you're like, okay. Interesting. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. Jamie Miner says, ask Coach about.
I'm actually looking for Pulse Chain too. I put 135,000 in Pulse Chain.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with that. Should be launching soon. We saw the vision 2 years ago. Yeah, I'm waiting on that joint too, man. That might be a good one. But again, see, people behind the scenes be knowing like what's going on. So Richard Hart can't come out and be like, yo, I gotta put this on hold until this. It's probably waiting for the next happening to come. Because he's not gonna release it in this climate.
For Pulse Chain itself.
For Pulse Chain, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Which is good and stuff like that. Well, you know, Kennard, I think he already told us his theories on Elon. Elon is one of them that, yeah. What do you think about Elon's like weekly podcast or every other week podcast that he does?
I don't even be listening to that stuff.
You don't feed into it, man? Not just a little.
No, I listen to the gospel, bro. I ain't trying to be, I don't know. But like to keep it real, this sounds crazy. A lot of my revelations for crypto literally come from the word.
Are you serious?
I'm serious, bro. Like I don't really I'm not listening to like all that stuff. Like I'm downloading some other stuff, man.
I like that. I like that, man. So Larry did say, please share. I think he did share and stuff like that, man, about that, you know, with Elon and Twitter. Malik says, wowzers, man, with the eyes. Hey, bro, because you are like, we all thought, and this is the truth, and I'm telling you this, blockchain, right now. We thought definitely you coming on here, oh, he's getting ready to say some, yo, I got into Elon's head. I know what Elon's next move is, and we kind of thought that like, man, you know, blockchain's a step ahead. He's already like know what Elon's almost thinking, you understand, or what the next move he's gonna make. And then they come with like, yo, you know, I don't know what Elon's doing. Elon is on some other stuff, man.
But here's a question. Did I give you the next move though?
No, you didn't.
I didn't. Think about it. I maybe didn't give you what you expected, but I might have gave you the next move.
Hold on. What did I miss? What did Lambo miss here? Because
you just said right now, I thought, man, we thought he was going to come on and be like he was in Elon's head and da-da-da-da-da and this and the third. And I'm telling you something suspicious about him. So it's like, that's the move, right? Like that's literally the move, right? It's like, okay, well, you know, like, I don't know, man. It's just weird. Like, where does this guy come from? Like, this is a lot of questions, bro. Like, richest man in the world makes sense. Yeah. Like, and even if you listen to him on his podcast, how he thinks, he sounds like somebody that would make up crypto.
Yeah.
Like, it would take a person like him to think of something like this, and he's already in the payment space.
But I get that. I get that him being behind some of the plays. I get that. Him manipulating the markets. I get that. Him pulling stuff away. I get that. I'm just thinking like, well, what else? You understand? Like, what else could this dude come up with at this point, man?
If you think a billionaire has time to be sitting on, like, come on, bro. Like, you know how busy you are.
Yeah.
You think a billionaire has time to be like on Twitter talking about, come on, man. Like, this guy got whole companies, whole like car companies and boards and stuff like this. How does he find time to be in Twitter with sinks around his neck? And like, how you find, who's orchestrating the camera guy? Like, who's doing all this stuff? Like, so are you calling? So let me get this straight. You called the camera guy or your assistant and was like, yo, I'm gonna walk into Twitter with like this thing around my neck and I'm gonna just who's running those plays, bro? I always wondered that. Like, how does he have time to be on Twitter like this? How does he have time to be like, how Sway?
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe he's got systems in play, blockchain. Think about it. Maybe he's got his systems.
I need to come on here. What would a billionaire be doing with Dogecoin?
I wanted to know the same thing.
Unless you had a vested interest in the entire space because you created it. Also, too, when he was pumping Dogecoin and everybody was going crazy, and I was like, yo, you guys are missing the point. Mm-hmm. He's pumping Dogecoin over here, but he's secretly buying Bitcoin over here.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like if you look at the way he does things, it's.
I mean, we can even go with the Shiba, man, when he turned around and then he did the Shiba. He went on what was that? What talk show was that? He went on, talked about it, and then Shiba blew up right after that.
Yeah.
It was a Saturday night or something like that, Saturday Night Live or something like that. He went on last year, and then boom, Shiba all of a sudden started exploding, So a lot of his moves, you are right. Talk to us.
What I want you guys to just take away from this: study when he makes the news.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on right now that would make him pop up?
Well, I mean, we got all these elections and stuff like that right now.
Yes. Go back and study when Tesla started accepting Bitcoin. What was going on then? Right? Like you got to just so I don't know. Yeah, it's just
Jamal Titus, yes, Elon pops up at interesting time. Blockchain is leaving us with these cliffhangers like this, man, and just are you saying happening or having?
Having. It's HALVING.
Got that. Kennard Haney say, wait, I know Kennard. Kennard is actually traveling right now, man. I know he's in Colorado right now. I know he's probably like, wait, hold on, what? What's going on? Jamal Titus said, yes, he did. Folks, listen to the replay. Yes, I just really asked the question because I wanted a little deeper dive into that, man. That's why I re-asked that question again like that. Larry and everything, man, hit you with the alien face. I love this, man. And Jamal Titus hit you with the house sway. Yes, that's exactly what blockchain hit us with, man. And it was the Saturday Night Live appearance and stuff like that, man, that he went on and stuff like that, man, and did that. And then the markets tanked on one side and then boom, went up on the other side. You're just like, yo, Elon, what the heck is going on here and stuff like that? Yeah, doesn't make any sense. What is he talking about the space program? I haven't heard him talk anything about that lately.
Something just ain't right. Sam, bro. Sam. That's all I'm
saying. Hey. All I can say is, shout out to you, Nikki.
So y'all think this man is building spaceships, building Tesla, doing all this, but he got time to be talking about Dogecoin.
Listen, he's trying to be his own trillionaire. He said he's about to put his own self up and put his name up and become his own trillionaire. So that's what we're believing, that all of these markets are being affected by Elon. We always say that these markets are affected by Elon. We keep saying that.
Well, then it would make sense that he might be.
Good. I know. Blockchain hit you with the look in the song. I know Jamal Titus. Well, look, you know what, man? We jumping off of that, man. Look, let's get on to one of these projects that you are running, man. That you have been actually helping change lives. Mm-hmm. And what is it called? Enagic? How do you say it?
Enagic, yep.
Enagic. Okay, talk to us a little bit about Enagic on here.
Man, basically all it is, it's just like a water purifier. I bought the water. It's funny, I met with a guy. I was trying to build some technology for him. And I actually went with a friend, and he was like, "Yeah, it's Brandon. He builds this tech, platforms, whatever." And dude was like, "Yo," he was like 60. He was like this Filipino guy, he's like 65 years old, sitting there with his wife, and he's like, "Yeah, so me and my wife, we just made $1 million last month, like passively." You know me, I'm like, put my hamburger down. I was like, chew down for a second. And then all of a sudden it turned into like that scene from Wolf of Wall Street where I was like, if you could show me $1 million, I'll quit my job right now. And that's what happened, man. He took me to his house, showed me everything, and the rest was history.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is water purifiers. Is it water purifiers you can use in your own house or what?
Yeah. So without getting into all the nitty gritty, man, again, I just study things. Study things that aren't common to the regular, like regular folks, right? Like things that, like, unless you study life, you wouldn't even think about this, right? So, and again, I'm not making health claims or anything like that, but what I realized was that, a lot of people getting cancer, a lot of people getting all types of diseases, colon cancer, this, that, and the third. And no one ever stopped to think, well, was I born like that? Or is this maybe coming from something that I'm doing?
Yeah.
Right. And so what I started doing research on was the water. And there's a company called the EWG, and it's like an independent, it's like a nonprofit organization. You go to EWG, you can type in your zip code, and it'll pull up all the chemicals in your water. And it'll show you the side effects like cancer, infertility issues, brain damage, hormone disruption, like all these things. I'm like, wait, this is all the stuff people getting.
Yeah.
And so I realized that a lot of that stuff is coming from the water.
Yeah.
There's a movie called Erin Brockovich. She actually talked about that, and they shut her down, right? Because a lot of the water municipalities, the laws haven't been changed in like 20 years. So all the chemicals in the water are technically legal because, the lawmakers don't change everything. And then the scientists found that there's something called forever chemicals, which means that when it rains, the plastic from the ocean actually gets into the clouds. It's in the water, right? So like all the water and stuff that we drink, we eat, whatever, people think a Brita, it's funny, people think a Brita filter is going to stop it. But yeah, it's like all in the water. And so for me, man, I'm always looking, especially as, a Black male, we think a lot of these things are hereditary, but they're not.
Yeah.
They're really not. It's just lifestyle, right? And, I'm married to a Polish woman. So I get the contrast to see like how we do things and how they do things. And it's different, right? And so for me, I don't know, man, I just took an interest in that. I took an interest in trying to help people live longer, trying to have them be healthier, because it's a Japanese company, right?
Okay.
And again, I just think about things. You be seeing Japanese people be like mad old.
Yeah. Yeah.
They be like we know, like, and I'm not trying to be racist, but I'm just thinking about this. Like when I think about a Japanese person, who keep it 150, just keep it. When I say a Japanese person, what pops in your head?
What pops in my head? Karate.
Exactly. Yeah. Like what person? Like what? How do you see that? Right? Like what does this person look like?
What does this person look like? I think like Jackie Chan or something like that.
Right. So my point is this: I associate long living with like if like I think about like a Japanese person, I think about a person who's older, who lives long, who's health, like doing, you know what I mean, like all that kind of stuff, right? And so, yeah, I started realizing that, man, what if it is the water? Right? What if that's how the disease gets there? What if, I mean, they test the water every single year.
Yeah.
And they have scientific evidence showing you that your water is acidic. It's not a rocket. You don't got to be a rocket science to figure out that if you drink acidic water, that's where cancer, that's where all these diseases live.
Mm-hmm.
So if you fill your body up with that, you know.
So hold on. Now, what is the difference though between the bottled water, the alkaline water, and all of this other water, man? I mean, what is the difference? Are you saying that those type of waters that we're purchasing out of, the stores and everything like that are bad or harmful for us?
Listen, I'm not going to talk bad about somebody, but it's just simple science, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alkaline water needs to be electrically charged. It's not electrically charged the whole time it's in the bottle, right? So that's why when you get the electrically charged water, even if you test it with the pH stick, it'll be one level of pH the minute you do it. But if you leave that thing out for like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, it's going to change, right? That's why they have different levels. So where you're getting the health benefits from is you're charging the water, right? Like there's been doctors in the past that have done studies on foods that are electrically charged and they're really good for you, right? And so what I started to realize was that, and again, I'm not giving health claims, I'm not promising anything, I'm just telling my story.
Mm-hmm.
I played football in high school. I tore my meniscus, I broke my ankle, and I had knee problems for a long time. When I went and bought my machine, I was like literally limping into the place because my knee was jacked up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in the spot filling up, they have like little water things back there. I'm in the spot filling up my jug, just sipping there, filling out my application rate because I don't know too much about this at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm filling out my application, drinking on my water, and all of a sudden I get up to go put the application to get my machines. And I stopped in the middle of the room and I'm like, wait a minute. My knee was like, bro, it was like completely healed.
Yeah.
And I remember going on Facebook Live, running around my house, being like, yo, like an hour ago, I was limping.
Yeah.
And now, and again, I'm not, maybe it was God. I don't,
Yeah.
I'm just telling you my story. And so after that, man, I was like, all right, dude, this, yeah, this is it for me. So yeah, man, that's pretty much why I got in. So that combined with the compensation plan, it's a win-win situation for me.
Okay. The compensation plan. Talk to me about that. What's that?
I mean, basically, man, it's just an opportunity where I get paid off of every single person that buys a machine.
Mm-hmm.
So like this was the first business that I realized where like one person could make me a 6-figure income.
Okay.
Right. So I'm like, wait a minute. So if I have 4 people that, sell 100 of these machines, a year and like their whole organization, that's $500,000. And then I'm seeing all these young people who never had any experience. They're bringing home, $385,000 bonus checks. I'm like, okay, yeah, I gotta see what's going on. So yeah, man, that's really what it is. So I use my crypto, that's my investment, and then this is like my like business. This is, this is like the thing that I'm doing.
Wow, blockchain. You are like literally like diversifying. I see you, Brian. I see you, man. I see you.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew that there was hold on, let me get back to it real quick. Some of these questions. Larry said I'm a huge Star Trek fan. Also, the science is real, man. Shout out Larry on that. Malik said, man, I'm in the Magic with B too as well. Shout out to you.
He is. That's right. That's my dude.
Yeah. That's what's up, man. My guy Malik's changing lives. Jamie Miner said, this is how coach makes us think. He don't just give us the answers. He makes us think. Been dealing with that since I had the privilege to be mentored by him. I'm a better investor as a result of them. Shout out to you, man.
Yep, shout out to Jamie.
Yeah. And what my guy Steve said, Kagan water. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the water we're talking about.
Okay, bet. He already know. Then he said alkalize and ionize.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tracy, you just said, is this groundwater or plant water?
It turns regular water into like alkaline water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to know what's in their water, go to ewg.org. It's a nonprofit organization. Type in your zip code. Oh, they'll show you. That's the thing. People just don't research, right? So they're like, yeah, we're going to put this out here. But then when they,
if they start getting sick, you said, now they already trying to figure out backtrack. So ewg.org, right?
Yeah. So it's ewg.org/water. I think that's it.
/water. ewg.org/water. All right. Y'all got it and stuff like that, man. Jamal Titus said when he thinks about an old man, he thinks about Mr. Miyagi. That is definitely facts, man. Larry said, I used to live in Okinawa. I have to agree about that.
Yes, that's where the company's based.
Oh, really? They're based in Okinawa?
Yeah. Bro, I'm telling you, there's some stuff out here, people. I be trying to educate people, but people want to make money and do all. I'm like, all right, cool. But that's what I'm saying. The Japanese people, bro, that's why they be living so long. They figured out, they know something.
Mm-hmm.
But
they know something and everything, man, that a lot of us are not knowing and stuff like that.
Yep.
Steve said yes. Steve also said there's no regulations on bottled water.
Bro, if people knew.
Man, now hold on. You mean to tell me, man, that Fiji water ain't good, man?
Well, none of that stuff is good.
I love that Fiji water. Anti-inflammatory water.
Also plastic water. Think about it. That Fiji water sitting in a warehouse and probably 200 degrees. You don't think any of that plastic gets into the water?
I'm pretty sure something's got to get into it, man.
So what happens if you keep drinking plastic?
Man, you're going to get sick, dude.
Probably. Right?
Yeah, I know for sure you're going to get sick, man, off of that. So again, man, that's super dope, bro, that you're educating people, man, in that area, man. I mean, is there a way that people can go on ahead and reach out to you, man, for anybody, man, who may want to go ahead and participate in that, man, and jump onto that?
Yeah, man, they can just hit me up on Facebook and ask questions. I'll educate.
Just Facebook? That's it?
That's it, man. That's it.
Man, that mean you ain't even coming with like Drew. They ain't even got to do all this other extra stuff, man. They can just do this and we be good with it and stuff like that. You understand? So I just put it on there, man. Y'all go ahead, man. Go follow my guy Brandon Brown on Facebook, man. Go ahead, hit him up, message him, man. He does a lot of like lives, man, nonstop on this stuff, man, and really educates people, man. So anybody want to get in and stuff like that, again, please go follow him on Facebook at Brandon Brown on Facebook. All right, Brandon Brown on Facebook. That's it. Send him a message, whatever you can, and make sure that you guys tap into him. All right. Oh, blockchain. Well, listen, man. Any other thing, man, that you got to talk about, man, on here? If not, dude, it's truly been an honor and a pleasure and a blessing having you, dude.
Yeah, man. No, thank you for inviting me onto your platform. And man, I just wish everybody success, prosperity, and just know that there's a lot of opportunity out there. You just gotta, you gotta educate yourself. And once you do that, sky's the limit.
All right. One last question. When's the next mastermind class?
Happening. As soon as the happening comes, that's when you'll see me active again. So now y'all know my patterns, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you start seeing me, it's like, oh, okay, he's the happenings here, right? And the happening has a date too. So you can Google the date and it'll tell you exactly what date the next one is because it's coded into the blockchain.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's coded into the blockchain. Well, y'all heard it from himself. Out of Blockchain Brown mouth, when the happening comes, that's when actually y'all going to see Blockchain Brown back on the scene again with the mastermind classes. So y'all be on the lookout for that. And again, man, y'all make sure y'all keep tapped into what everything, man, that blockchain is doing. LA Law goes on here to say appreciate it with the fire emojis. He spit a lot of game tonight, a lot of truth tonight. I'm trying to tell y'all this right now. So definitely y'all go back and replay this video over and over and share this to everybody out there. Definitely tap into him again on Facebook as well, you guys, at Brandon Brown, man, and go tap in and see what he's doing. Definitely go be a part of his movement because he's definitely helped changing the culture out here. LA Law, thank you again. My wife, he says, thank you for joining us tonight, Brandon. Thank you. Showing you with the love. Be well with Nikki, say, reducing acidity in the body is a must. Great conversation. Yes.
Oh, yeah. We don't get about that stuff.
Yeah. Larry showing the praying hands to you, man, giving you thanks, man, and a full salute. As you already know, Kennard Haney, man, is in the building. Thank you so much, Blockchain, for another amazing teacher session. Really appreciate you. Definitely. Y'all better make sure you will have a lot of these guys rechanging their strategies now after all of this stuff that they didn't jump into and really probably like holding back on some stuff, Shout out to you on that.
Appreciate it.
Jamal Tidy said, another great show, Lambo Drew. Thank you for sharing Blockchain Brown with the fire emoji. Thank you. We didn't want to go too deep on here, just enough that you guys had definitely got the point. So you guys have definitely got the point. Tracy, you just said, is it still a good time to invest?
I mean, I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't really say if it's good or bad, but you got to simplify it. Buy fear, sell greed. So where are we at right now?
Yeah, definitely a lot of fear going on right about now. So, so that answers your question and stuff like that. In other words, Tracy, he didn't give y'all a lot of great stuff. Thank you, Isidro. Thank you very much, Isidro, showing love and everything, man, on here. Showing much love to you. And my guy, Kennard Haney, with the praying hands, man, is also with the laughing emoji, fire emoji, and everything else. So thank you. Isidro said, amazing show. Hey, that's what we're here to do, to help educate you guys and show you guys, man, some amazing things in hearing Blockchain's journey, his testimonies, and all of the great things that he actually has to bring to the culture. So we truly thank him as well. Be well when Nikki say, I need to catch the beginning. I can tell you I need to check it out. I need to check it out. Yes, you're going to need to check this one out because definitely he dropped a lot of hidden jewels in between here. I mean, serious bars, y'all. Serious bars. So go back and check it out because I'm tell you this right now, man. God has placed an anointing on Brandon's life, and Blockchain has been actually helping change the culture. So we thankful for him. So yeah, definitely go ahead and check it out. Make sure you guys tap in. Make sure you guys follow him. Go like and follow him on Facebook at Brandon Brown. Again, go like, follow him on Facebook at Brandon Brown. Just spelled just like that. No BARNDEN or DIN or anything like that. Spelled just like it is on the screen. Brandon Brown on Facebook. Go like, subscribe, or do whatever you possibly can, and go send him a message and get connected. Stay connected with the movement because I'm telling you, it'll be well worth it and stuff like that. Again, Nikki, thank you for the amazing sign. Thank you. Listen, Blockchain, we got to have you back, man.
Yeah, man.
Especially in everything, man. Allow you to go ahead and deep dive into some other stuff, man, that we didn't tap into. But I'm thankful that people got the chance to see your journey and hear 8 figures. People ain't never heard 8 figures in a month and stuff like that, or people dropping. I tell a lot of my clients, man, when they rocking with us and rolling with us, for some of the things that we actually do, we do it for a reason because we mastered what we do. So we don't have to go ahead and people don't have to question our credibility. We just out here doing what we do to help change lives. You're a master at what you do, B. I'm a master at what I do. And that's exactly how we help change the culture, man, because God has given us that gift. So thank you, B, for everything that you poured in. I'm giving you your flowers tonight.
Appreciate it,
Truly,
man.
thank you. Thank your wifey, man, for this time, almost 2 hours of rocking on this show with us. Definitely come back, Blockchain, because we want to hear more stuff, man, for y'all. Steven tell you, thank y'all, brothers. Thank you, Steve. Thank you for tapping in. For real. Malik said, I was there when he did the 8 figures. Showing love. See, there's some people right there letting you guys know, like, this stuff is really real. There's no cap on here. Really sharing numbers and everything, man, and giving y'all some real love, man, on here. But Blockchain, listen, thank you, man. We got to come to Canada, man. I got to come kick it out there with Canada, man, when I can. I got to get one of them Canadian goose on,
Come through.
Come through. Now, if you come to Denver, I already got you down here. You don't need a Canadian goose down here. It ain't that cold.
No, for sure. I appreciate you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you too. Tracy, you just say thank you both. My guy, Steve Wood, shout out to your stacks. Thanks, Blockchain. Man, I was wondering where he been at all night, but shout out to your stacks, man. Been in the back, creeping on the low, watching Blockchain give all his nuggets and drop some serious bars on here, man. Thank you, Blockchain. Listen, man, have an awesome, great night, great week. I look forward to connecting with you in the future.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna do some major things, man, together. You already know I'm gonna hit you up after this, and we'll get it popping, man. You know what we do, bro. All right, thank you for being my bro for years, bro.
Likewise, man. Likewise.
All right, bet it up. Look, we out of here, man. We thank y'all, man, for another great show. Again, next Tuesday night, we'll be back out here, man. Same time, same bad station, Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, man. And Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. We'll be back out here on the Leverage Show, helping change the community and help push you guys to a whole new level. Thanks again, Blockchain Brown, man. Many blessings for all that you do. And keep going on ahead and inspiring the generation. Love you guys much. Have an awesome, great week. We're praying the blessing of God on you guys and walk in the favor of God. Love y'all. Take care. Next time.